This game is played by adults going over adult content. You've been warned. Welcome to Yes Please, the D&D podcast companion to Check Please. This podcast takes place between episodes of the main Check Please series and goes into more detail and depth about specific people and events. The timeline for this episode takes place in canon right around episode 24 of the main series.
Okay, so you guys were sitting around in the Heartstring tap room. Levette and Karis were working on pitch to the counselor. Mm-hmm. You had just got an enchanted eye placed in your head.
Yep, it's weird.
And Marcus is doing something. I'm not even sure what he was doing. I think he's just eating.
I mean, halflings are practically hobbits, right?
Yeah, basically.
So they, like, eat all the time, right?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
So the only thing left, then, is what Siva's doing. And she's sort of, like, sitting on that stool watching you.
Oh, no. Gosh, why is talking to people so scary when you, like, know they kind of have a thing for you?
Oh, man.
Like, it's way easier to flirt when you don't think people like you.
It's the difference between flirting for fun and flirting for profit.
There's also flirting for, you know, maybe eventually courting. I don't know.
Well, that's flirting for profit.
Oh, see, my brain was just like, oh yeah, friends with benefits.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm sorry, there's always a third option.
That's
says
fair.
the pansexual. Whew. I go and sit by her.
So, does it hurt?
No. It feels kind of cold, and I feel like I've made a mistake. I'm actually really scared.
She picks up one of your hands in both of hers. Tell me about it.
So, while it was happening, while Karis was enchanting it, I guess, it started just moving everywhere. It was really gross, and I thought about throwing up for a bit.
Oh.
And it's cold. It's really weird, and I kind of feel like I made a wrong decision, and I'm freaking out a little bit. But, you know, she means well, and I think she's a really smart girl, so I really hope I didn't mess up. Did I mess up?
Well, I don't think you messed up. I mean, I don't really trust necromancers, but I'll keep that to myself.
I mean, this might sound silly. Like, I trust her, and yet I don't trust her? Does that make sense?
She kind of, like, gives you a knowing look, and she's like, you do know what I do for a living, right?
Right. Sorry, I trust you so much, it feels weird when I think about it any other way.
No, let's just say that I definitely understand what you're coming from.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. She has both of her hands.
She did. I don't know if the moment has passed or not, and she's letting go of your hand.
I don't know if I can explain this verbally. So Soul's kind of like the hand that was dropped. They're kind of like moving their thumb over their index finger in a back and forth motion. Where it's like, let's say if like another hand was there, that would kind of like a thumb petting in a way.
Yeah.
Soul's just kind of like looking at their hand and doing that. Because they're really good at thinking about doing an action that's like romantic, but they're really bad at enacting it. Because they get all up in their head first before they get anywhere. So they're just kind of doing that for a second, and then they look back up, and they just stare at Siva, I guess. And it's kind of one of those stares where it's, I guess I'm just gonna see what you want to do. Because I'm fine with just being in your presence. So, did you try my breakfast this morning?
She chuckles and says that, yeah, it was very good.
You're lying, but I appreciate it.
So she notices your hand gesture, and she basically puts her hand back onto yours. Just kind of lightly holds your hand.
Soul does like a thumb reaching over on top of her hand for a second, a hover thumb, for like probably a minute, and they're just like looking at it.
You're giving her a hover thumb?
Yes!
Oh boy.
They keep going like, okay, do it. Do it now. Is it too late now? Oh god, how long have I been sitting here? They just kind of close their eyes and flinch and then put their thumb down and start doing it. They open their eye again very slowly because they can't even do like a one eye thing anymore. Yeah. Where you like, open one eye. Mm-hmm. Yep, I only have one eye to look, so
the subtlety's all gone.
The subtlety's all gone. Soul just kind of slowly opens that one eye. Is this okay?
She's smirking at you.
Oh, that's an instant red tomato face. And face down on the bar. Doesn't want to be seen currently. But they're still rubbing their thumb on her hand. I don't think they know when to stop, actually. They're just kind of doing it. I'm so embarrassed. But I don't want to not do this at the same time. Oh my god, my feelings.
Siva kind of leans in a little bit and says, I don't think I could employ you or your friends again.
What?
I don't think it would be appropriate for me to send you into danger ever again.
I mean, not all our missions have been dangerous.
She looks at you with sort of a sideways look.
I mean, we took a painting once. I tried to take a painting. Levette paid for it.
Really?
You know, she likes money and
you just
something.
Paid for it? The whole point was that you're supposed to steal the painting.
I know! She decided that we were going to pay for it. Do you know how long we were waiting? I could have just gone and picked it up and left and nobody would have cared. Except for everyone's moral standards, I guess.
Seems like you're the most decisive one of the group, then.
Honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I feel really good about what I do, and then other times I jump into something really fast, and then I get scared, and I really regret decisions then. So, it's a double-edged sword in a way. Sometimes my actions can be really beneficial, and Soul kind of touches their blindfold, and sometimes I'm stupid.
So will lean in again and say, like in sort of like a whisper voice, she says, I don't think you're stupid.
I appreciate that.
She goes on to compliment you, saying that you're one of the bravest people she's ever met.
I really doubt that. You know a lot of people, Siva.
She doesn't know a lot of criminals. I know a lot of cowards. It's not often I get to keep companies with heroes.
I am far from a hero, Siva.
I see a person who put their own life in great danger to save a girl they barely knew. I don't know what else to call that.
So, kind of turns their head and just thinks about it. Well, yeah, I don't know, when there's, a kid in need, you just kind of want to help them, right?
She boops your nose and says, hero.
The tomato face is back, and they're back on the bar, face down again. Do you have to do that?
Sorry, it's a force of habit, I guess.
They're still kind of on the bar, but they've got their arms crossed in front of them so they can perch their head up on them and kind of pout at Siva. Mm-hmm. Force of habit? What's that supposed to mean?
It's part of the skill set that I've developed, I suppose.
Soul raises their eyebrows. And what other skills that are in this specific repertoire are there?
She leans in again and says, oh, quite a few skills.
Is there a color redder than tomato? I think it's not just red face, it's gone to the tips of their ears, probably.
She holds up a finger, and a tiny little, basically almost like a match-sized flame is coming off the top of her index finger, and she blows it out. Very seductively, I might add.
Ah! Okay, that was a cool trick.
She smiles and shrugs and says, I was just born this way, I guess.
So you were able to do magic since you were little?
At this point, she kind of leans back and kind of takes a deep breath. Yeah, that's the trick of being a sorcerer, I suppose.
Soul kind of muses on telling Siva or not, but decides against it. Yeah, I've known quite a bit of sorcerers in my lifetime. All 4 years.
84?
Mm-hmm.
My, oh my.
I'm almost an adult. I am an adult, technically. Pretty much.
She chuckles.
I know. I've noticed there really aren't any elves in Ville, ever.
Not so many, no.
Is there something weird about this area that elves don't like or something?
I don't think so. I just imagine most of them prefer to stay around larger forests, I guess. This whole place must be either too crowded or too droll or too urban.
I kind of like it.
Well,
It's fun. Something happens all the time.
You're also a very special elf.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say. Not suave at all, Soul. Good job. A+.
A+, A+.
A+.
Best flirtations. Best.
Well, Soul was gonna say, I like it here. I mean, you're here. But then they couldn't get it out of their mouth.
Nice. That would have killed.
I know, but they're so embarrassed. They're in their head too much currently.
Siva is going to use Mage Hand and basically float a couple of wine glasses and a bottle over to the corner of the bar.
Ooh, you fancy.
She chuckles again, so it's really nothing. I've been able to do that since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's still fun to see, especially when you haven't seen it in a while. It's nice. Feels kind of homey.
I suppose this is sort of old hat for someone who comes from an area full of magic users.
Well, yeah, but they're all elves. And there's no one there like you.
Oh, really?
No.
Not a lot of humans out in the elven lands, I imagine.
That's not what I meant.
She pours 2 glasses and slides one over to you, all without actually touching any of the glassware. And she leans in, whatever do you mean?
Well, you know, you're... Is the tavern really warm currently? Or is it just you?
She feels her wrist with her other hand and then touches her forehead. I suppose I have had that effect on some people.
It's working on me, maybe. Who knows? There's no one like you where I'm from, because, you know, there's no one as wonderful as you are.
She lets out like a single loud laugh and says, "Come on, I'm certainly not wonderful."
You're wonderful to me.
I think you know me a bit better than that.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I'm no hero.
You don't have to be a hero to be wonderful. You can be beautiful and nice and wonderful, and you can, you know, give me butterflies every time I see you, and I never know if I need to, like, talk or hide, and, you know, you're just amazing, and all I can think is, wow, every time I look at you. And then Soul, like, slowly starts to melt in between the bar and their bar stool in an attempt to hide.
Siva sits there in stunned silence. One of the wine glasses floats over to her hand, and she takes a drink out of it.
Is it like a normal size drink or a bit too big of a drink for wine?
It's a bit too big of a drink for the wine. And then she sets it down on the bar.
I'm sorry.
She leans in and whispers to you, "Don't be."
Okay, well... I don't know how long Soul's face has been red, but mine is. Mine as the player has been very red.
Lovely. At this point, you're still holding one of her hands, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which hand?
Okay, so we're kind of sitting at a corner
you're
of the
at the
bar.
corner of the bar together, yes.
So I guess my right hand would be in her left.
Her left?
Or
Okay.
her left would be in my right, technically.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's kind of like hand-holding where it's across the table, not under it.
Yeah.
You know, both of the arms are kind of out. It's kind of casual and stuff. It's just sweet.
Yeah. Okay. She is going to kind of like move one of her legs over and sort of touch one of your legs with it under the bar.
Oh god, Soul. So Soul suddenly snaps out of a thought, looks really confused, and is like, "Oh, are you falling out of your chair? Are you okay?"
She kind of sits up straighter in her chair and removes her leg. No, I'm fine.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I would hate for you to fall.
Too late.
Yep. I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
They're so fucking awkward! I love it! As the conversation has continued, Soul's more rigid posture is like slowly kind of melted to very casual. So at this point, they're leaning on their left arm, like their hand and stuff, and just kind of looking at Siva while they're talking. Until they get embarrassed, they kind of hide in their hand, but they stopped like going straight to the bar table at this point during the conversation. Slowly, Soul's regular defenses are just easing away currently.
Yeah. Siva will continue having a conversation with you. Not sure what time of day it is.
I feel like it was still mid-afternoon.
Okay.
When we came back, at least. Because I spent the beginning of the afternoon talking to Grow.
Yeah. So you went off and talked to Grow, and that put us around probably 4:35.
Probably.
Okay.
We casual AF right now.
Yeah.
We're drinking before 5 p.m.
Drinking before 5. Because you're adults.
Bunch of hoity-toities right now. I am an adult.
Yeah.
Soul doesn't know how to flirt.
Mm-hmm. Well,
mostly because...
That's obvious.
Yeah. Well, that, and they didn't really have to where they were from.
Mm-hmm.
People just approached them and liked them pretty much, mostly because of the lineage.
Right, there's a status
of them.
there, yeah.
So they never flirted, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think the closest they probably got to flirting is when they were really little with Gro, but they're also just like little kids being cute and having crushes, pretty much, right?
Right.
Soul hasn't flirted since that, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're awkward AF. And it's good that not all of it has gone over their head, other than the leg touch thing, which just was like, what's going on?
What's that?
What's that? You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love my little dolt.
Enough time will pass in this conversation. It's beginning to become early evening, so we'll say it's closer to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Siva will mention that there's a lovely restaurant nearby.
What kind of food do they have?
Parthenian cuisine. It's a Parthenian restaurant.
Oh.
Essentially,
I don't know what the fuck that means.
it's French, basically.
Ooh. Soul would be into that.
So it's a Parthenian restaurant in town that's quite lovely.
Soul looks already immediately excited by the thought of it. I would love to go. Let's do that now. Wait, is it too late? What time is it? I literally have no idea. How long have we been sitting here?
Not long enough and too long at the same time.
Aww. Soul only has like slight rose to their cheeks. They're like, maybe I shouldn't read into everything.
She will take your hand in hers and walk you out of the tap room and over to the Parthenian restaurant.
She's taking me out to dinner. She's fancy. I think Soul used to skip a bit whenever they walked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't trust their coordination. I think they're a bit more fearful of things right now.
Yeah.
So their normal, like, walking that they used to do, the way they walked has definitely changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think it was more skipping and carefree, and I like to think it's kind of like ballet where you kind of put your feet out first. You're testing like cold water or something with your feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit slower, but it's still kind of elegant because it is Soul.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a bit more of a cautious outlook on things.
All right. So just to the north of the Heartstring Tap Room, you'll see the block to the north is the restaurant in mind.
As we've been walking to the restaurant, Soul's kind of been going over their conversation with Gro in their head.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they're feeling fucking guilty. They're like, man, at every moment, I have been a complete and utter jerk to this person to get under his skin, and all he's been is nice to me. And even Livette, when I talked to her about him, she seemed like everything was okay. And maybe I'm just not doing things right. Like, maybe I saw something that isn't really a thing, and now I feel like a dick.
Meanwhile, Siva has your arm in her arm, and she's talking to you about the city and sights and sounds of it, oblivious to your internal debates.
How tall is Siva?
Siva is probably 5'5".
Ooh, she's short.
Yeah, she's not super tall.
This
Soul's what, six flat?
I think it's 6 flat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or 6'1", but I'm pretty sure it's 6 flat, because I hate odd numbers.
Okay.
There is kind of a thing, when it comes to being arm in arm with someone, there's definitely a bit more, I hate calling it this, but a bit more of a masculine pose and a bit more of a feminine one, where like the feminine one, it's more of like the hands and the nook of the arm out and stuff like that. I like to think Soul definitely has their arm in the more masculine pose.
Okay.
Especially because they're taller, so that's probably a bit more comfortable for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they are fucking dying on the inside.
I need to make a sense motive check.
Did she notice anything?
I'm not going to tell you one way or the other.
Oh god! No!
Yeah, she continues to talk about sights and sounds of the city and places that she enjoys, and she'd like to show you at some point or another.
Oh, Soul likes that kind of noise. Oh, you want to show me things? So Soul kind of asks, oh, are there any parts in the country that you want to visit or outside of the country? Have you ever wanted to go out?
She says, I wouldn't mind traveling someday, but my work sort of prevents me from getting too far away from the city.
Yeah, I figure. I feel like there's just so many things out there. It's just so amazing. I think you would really enjoy like a lot of the stuff I've seen from just being out of my village for the first time last year even. Everything's so amazing.
You've told your adventure stories to Siva already, right? She's gotten pretty well informed.
I did the whole, like, I've dropped out of school. I don't think Soul has ever really been in depth about the whole never left their own village really thing. It might have been like a very brief in passing comment, but I don't think they've ever been like, oh, you know, the whole bloodline and shit. that fucking sucked.
All right. You know, she takes you around the corner there, and you make it to the restaurant, a place by the name of Fouquet's. She is recognized immediately by the waitstaff. There's a table that's reserved at all times, apparently. That's in this corner of the room that has a perfect view of everything.
Is it like a booth or just a table?
I think it's a table. It's a small round table. It could probably comfortably seat 4 people.
Okay.
There's only 2 chairs set there.
Aww.
Wooden with plush on top, like plush upholstery on wooden chairs. This whole place is swanky. This is the rich side of town anyway. These are all, like, very nice places to eat. And there's quite a few nobles in the restaurant at the time, like people wearing, like, high-quality clothing, and they're all kind of, like, speaking in hushed tones and, you know, behaving very prim and properly. Of course, whenever, like I said, the staff immediately recognizes Siva and takes you both to, like, this reserved table, and all of the nobles that, like, see you guys come in, as soon as they notice you, they all kind of immediately look away and get even quieter. It's apparent that Siva has a reputation, and very few people in this town want to get on her wrong side.
Interesting. Soul looks a little concerned at the reactions. Do people normally do this?
What, give us the best quality treatment? The nicest table in the establishment, you mean?
I mean, it's very nice.
It is very nice.
I meant the other folks. Like, Soul does, like, more of a head gesture. It's like people are looking away from us and not giving any eye contact. And I think that's more weird for Soul because they like being the center of attention. Mm-hmm. It kind of was a normal thing for them growing up, too. Mm-hmm. So, when I walk in a room and people look away from me, I'm a little concerned.
Oh, don't worry so much about that. They're just giving us our privacy.
Oh, well, okay, if you say so. Soul is still a little uneasy about it. She knows what she's doing. She's smart. So, why this place in particular did you want to go?
She mentions about how this place has the finest foods in the city, and she felt it was something that befitting someone as fine as you. I'm not exactly sure how she words it.
It's still real cute.
Some sort of complimentary phrase or gesture about matching the quality of the restaurant with the clientele. That and that it has, you know, the highest reviews from food critics in the city.
Soul looks down at their clothes and kind of giggles a little. I think I'm a little dressed down for a place like this, though.
What is Soul wearing currently?
They're probably still wearing their friggin' belted up,
their adventurer's clothes?
Makeshift adventure clothes that they've pretty much made themselves before they left school. From an old dress, pretty much. They ripped up a fucking dress.
But it was an
elven
dress.
Put this fucking thing together. Yeah. But
it's still, you know.
It's probably like really nice fabric, which makes it even sadder. But I'm assuming most people are wearing dresses and stuff.
She says something like she still thinks you're the finest dressed person in the room, but if you are concerned about being underdressed, maybe she can help you with that later.
Oh! My heart! My heart! Oh my god, this girl's smooth AF. Me as a person. Holy shit. I think that went over Soul's head. So, their response, maybe, sure, why not?
An eyebrow goes up.
Soul's like, they're kind of sitting a bit more up because they're in the atmosphere that like kind of triggers their more natural pose. So they're a bit more sitting up, they've got their hands in their lap, and they just tilt their head. Did I say something wrong? I fucking love my idiot.
At this point, a few bottles of various kinds of wine are brought to the table without even having to order them, by the way.
Ooh.
A red, a white, and what do you think, a sparkling or a rosé? What seems more fitting for this?
Let's see.
I think this is Parthenian, probably a sparkling, right?
Yeah, probably.
So they bring out a red, a white, and a sparkling.
Soul doesn't like red wine. They like the idea of red wine because it looks fancy, but they hate the flavor.
Oh no. That's what Steve has been pouring down your throat for so long.
Yeah, I know. Soul's been like way too nice to be like, I really don't like this.
Boy, maybe Soul should be more honest about their feelings.
Soul's really bad about their feelings. This is Soul's impact.
Anyway, the waitstaff come by and they produce menus for both of you. And the cuisine, what they actually have to serve here is very, very ridiculous.
Oh, Soul just wants to order dessert, I'm gonna be honest. They're trying to go through the motion of, oh yes, like all of it looks yummy, and they're like trying to figure out what the lightest meal is so they can gorge on fucking like dessert later. Because Soul's still a fucking kid.
Yeah, you just want like the dish of candied nuts and iced cream. Yeah, so the menu looks really nice, and Siva orders some sort of fish over pasta.
Ooh. Is there anything that involves venison on the list?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Soul's gonna probably find the lightest meal, but still have venison. Because
Okay.
I think that's their favorite meat.
Gotcha. The two of you
So
have
is Siva like one of those fish vegetarians?
Oh, no. They
I was
just wanted a light meal, that's all. So the food is brought out, it's delicious.
Num num num.
It's like to the quality that rivals that of your estate from when you were a child.
I'm probably getting like, not PTSD flashbacks, but more like nostalgic feelings happening while they're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And so they look really happy the entire time. And Soul, thank goodness, got a bubbly drink. No red, please. It's too bitter for their child palate.
When the meal's sort of like winding down, like a cart is brought over
Ooh,
with a bunch of desserts on it.
yay! Soul looks like a kid in a candy store immediately. Their pupils, like, you know how cats, when they get excited, their pupils just get big?
Yeah, they just get enormous, yeah. Okay.
That's Soul.
Siva sees this and just instructs the waiters to leave the cart.
Oh my god. Siva, you can't just, like, take all the food. It was really cool. At first, isn't sure what to grab or anything. They kind of, like, look at Siva. Please pick something first so I don't feel awkward picking something.
Okay, she picks a blackberry tort.
So I was probably going to pick something chocolatey.
Okay.
So, a layered chocolate mousse cake. Let's say that.
There you go. That sounds sufficiently Parthenian. So, as dessert is winding down, Siva sort of asks, so what's troubling you?
Huh?
She says she can tell that something was on your mind earlier. What's troubling you?
Soul looks at their hands. There's someone from my past
She nods.
that makes me so mad all the time, and I don't know why, but I always want to be mean to him. But I think I might have been too mean, and I feel like I've been like a terrible person this past month, and I don't know if I should actually apologize or just let it go. I do feel really bad.
Siva kind of thinks about what you say, and she comes back with, you shouldn't live your life with regrets, and you should also learn that you don't owe anyone anything.
Huh.
If you want to talk to this person, talk to this person. If you don't want to talk to them, don't do it.
But what if I don't know? Soul looks like really frustrated with themselves, and they kind of have their arms out forward a bit more and their hands are on their knees, but they're still sitting up, you know? It's just kind of slouchy and your shoulders kind of go a bit forward and your neck a little in. Just pretty much a frustrated sitting stance. I don't know how I feel about most things. I don't know what I want half the time, and I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to know. I feel like everyone has things figured out except for me. I just kind of do things until, I don't know, I lose an eye.
Well, as long as you're not doing things out of obligation, especially to some sort of ex.
Soul didn't even say anything. Oh god. You're right. Thank you, Siva. Soul's a little nervous that you knew it was...
She sort of smirks and she's like, I could tell you were wearing a ring and then you weren't. It's not that hard to see.
And Soul kind of pulls up their hand and shows the new ring. Well, look, I got a fire one now. And when I got it, I thought of you because of that one time you burnt Vera. It was really funny.
Siva chuckles. Those were good times.
Right?
Except getting stabbed. That wasn't fun.
Yeah. Well, Vera got burnt. Tomato, tomato. Everyone learned a lesson that day.
So, fire resistance,
Yeah.
That might come in handy later.
You think so? I mean, it kind of did while we were in the sewers. There was a vampire that, like, threw a fireball at me. It didn't even feel it. It was great. This is a really great ring.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So over Soul's head. My oblivious small child. Tall child. I should say tall child.
Your oblivious tall child.
My oblivious tall child. It's like their sitcom name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's like kind of Full House themed with like, everywhere you look. Like, stupid turn to the camera.
Oh, God. I get to see this with the entire cast now. Oh, shit.
If someone actually cares eventually enough to make something like that, I would kiss their hand.
Well, I have 0 animation skills, so that is not going to be for me.
You have to do other things to get a hand kiss then, I guess.
Oh shit.
That comment goes straight over Soul's head, of course.
Oh yeah, sails over Soul's head.
Right with their ears.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think Soul got more comfortable, so they became more oblivious to advances. Because like, oh, we're just talking now, and that's okay. And it's friendly and wonderful. And I'm an idiot. So Soul's pretty much gotten to a point where they've probably eaten just a little too much dessert, but you know, they still have that face of thinking about having at least one more bite.
Yeah.
But they decide against it because they're like, I'm a throw up if I eat. They have spoiled themselves currently.
Yeah.
They have eaten too many sweets, and they're like, I am never going to be able to sleep tonight.
So being that it's late October, the sun is very much down by this point.
Mm-hmm.
The streets have been lit, like the lanterns have been lit in the streets. And this is, like I said, this is the nicer part of town. It actually looks pretty nice when the streets are lit up at night. Once you guys are finished at the restaurant, which you notice that she leaves a folded piece of paper on the table instead of money.
I want to look. I'm curious. So, like, stares at the paper for far too long.
Steven notices it's just a note to the establishment. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. And Soul just kind of catches up to her really quick, because Soul doesn't want to be not by her side current.
So, you guys step out into the street, and the air, I don't think I mentioned the temperature, but, I mean, it's been relatively chilly out. And you notice that Siva's still wearing her standard low-cut dress that she typically wears, or ones like it. And you notice that she looks like she would be very underdressed for the temperature, but yet she still seems to radiate heat.
Soul's gonna try to be suave nonetheless.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Soul's gonna try to put their arm around Siva's shoulder and pretend it being like, oh, it's cold. This is nicer, right?
She nestles into you.
Oh, God! Soul's heart is probably beating way too fast for them.
Mm-hmm.
Keep cool. Keep cool. Really pretty girl. Really nice person. Probably the coolest person I know. Actually, I should say hottest because of this body temperature right now. I think I'm sweating.
That's some fantastic inner monologue. So she will take you on a stroll through the rich part of town, and the street lamps being lit and the fancy signage and facades of all the buildings. It really does look quite lovely. Like, it's not lovely in like an elf city would be lovely.
Yeah.
The architecture's, far more crude, and the buildings are far shorter and more squat looking. But even though it's not quite as brilliant as your homeland, you can definitely see there's more rustic charm to this place.
I think Soul probably likes a lot of it more. Like, they still love their hometown and where they came from. But I think because even though they've been in Heartenshin for probably the most out of all the cities, they absolutely love the architecture of other places. Mostly because they've never seen it before they left their village, other than in books. Nothing's ever compares to, like, being to places in person.
Yeah.
They've been infatuated with every part of adventuring, pretty much, when it comes to cities. It's one of those things, you don't really talk about architecture in a conversation. Nobody likes that, I guess. It's probably really endearing for Soul, and now Soul kind of relates the town more to Siva. Whenever they come to the town, they think of Siva first, right? So it becomes just a little bit more magical in a way.
Yeah.
Have we passed a fountain?
Oh yeah, there's statues and fountains all over the place.
I like to think that Soul usually attempts to get as close as possible to the fountain to put their hand in the water. They want to play in the fountains, but they feel like that's inappropriate, so they just touch the water so that they at least are like, yes, I did that.
It's nice looking.
Yeah.
So she'll walk you up and down some of her favorite streets in the side of town and says this last year has been a big change for her life as well. She says, in the time since you all saved her, she's gone up in the world quite a bit, and she's not quite used to all of this lavish living, but she's glad to share it with you.
Oh, my heart. Okay, Soul, think carefully. Well, I think I'm just really happy that things have been going better. Because in general, all I really want for you is for you to be happy. And if that's what all of this brings, then I couldn't be more pleased.
She stops walking and turns you to face her, and she stares deep into your eye.
I don't think that's ever gonna stop being funny.
Hey, you're the one that's wearing an eye patch.
Yeah. Well, it looks weird if I don't.
What? What's wrong with the zombie eye, huh?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I still feel wrong about it. So, Siva's staring into Soul's eye.
Yeah, and she turns, looks at you deeply, and says that you are what makes her happy.
Holy shit.
She's gonna lean in.
Soul kisses her.
Boom!
But, it's a little awkward because they might have rushed a little too bit and bonked the nose a little. And they kind of recoil for a second, and then they pause and they stare back at Siva for a second, and then they take both their hands and they cup her chin and then pull her back in.
Nice. It was a chilly night that night, but you would have never known it.
I'm so happy right now. So this is the stuff we can't normally do because it would take way too long.
Yeah, the rest of the players would be like, "Get on with it!
Get on with it!" So I am so happy right now.
She's 100% in on this. Yeah, it's a pretty passionate kiss. Like, I guess if there was one word to describe, if you were gonna like render down
upside down Spider-Man kiss.
No, God, that's disgusting. Don't even bring that up. No, I'm saying if you can like render an NPC down into one word, like one descriptive adjective for an NPC, Siva is passion. Siva is a passionate character. She's a passionate person.
Yeah.
You are now the object of said passion. So.
Aww. Also slightly scary.
Also slightly scary. She's 100% in at this point, and there's kissing, a little bit of tongue. She sort of grins and even like nibbles one of your ears a little bit.
Soul makes an eep noise, but not that it's bad, just more that I don't think Gro has yet to actually do that. I feel because Soul still had their feather on their ear previously, they probably would be like, ears are a no-go. You don't get near this.
Okay.
So now this is probably the first time they've had their ear touched, and it's like, whoa, that's what it feels like? Holy shit. So Soul, I think, probably is going more on instinct currently.
Yeah.
The more that kissing continues, they start to kind of tug Siva closer to them. And it's kind of more like with the clothes. They keep tugging that closer to them.
Yeah.
And they don't exactly know how to continue this. But they're definitely just kind of pure in the moment, all instinct, and just all into this. All kissing, all happy.
Aw, shit.
Probably making just a little bit too many noises for out in the open.
Well, luckily the streets are relatively quiet right now. There's not very many people out, and you're in the middle of the street, so there's no one to bother you. You are actually, we're going to go ahead and place this right where it says Memorial Fountain. So you're on one of the side streets in the rich district.
Gotcha.
It's lots of statuary and fountains and other fanciful stuff in this part of town.
Which is great atmosphere for Soul. Oh man, they're so into this. After a while, I think they stop and just look at Siva, and they're kind of breathing a bit heavy. What do we do now?
She looks at you, kind of raises an eyebrow and says, whatever you want.
I don't know how to answer that. Oh, can I actually say that? Oh, I don't know if I as a person can say that without being embarrassed.
Oh, shit! Well, I think now you have to say it. You can't just preface it and not say it.
I know!
Oh, shit!
Soul tugs at Siva's clothes again. And is looking more down at the ground a bit because they're a little embarrassed about what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And Soul's thinking back to the evening and stuff and is just, perhaps you could help me with my clothes again tonight?
So Siva has a giant stupid grin on her face. She sort of like starts to walk with you back toward the Heartstring tap room.
Oh boy!
Taking the most direct route back.
Oh my god. Soul is practically a puddle by the time they get back.
So, by the time you return, the rest of the party has gone on about their business, and none of them are... They're most likely the Elegant Olive for the evening already. So, you and Siva return to the Heartstring Tap Room.
And suddenly, like, Soul has become way more embarrassed. The closer they've gotten to the room, the more they've gotten fidgety and doesn't really know what to do with themselves-ish.
Siva's going to notice that you're sort of feeling a little bit nervous, and will bring you in for a close hug. And whisper that it's okay.
Okay. Soul will take Siva's hand, and then Soul will lead Siva to the room.
Oh, man. Well, then I suffice it to say, Siva will help you with your clothes. I think is how we're going to put that.
Yeah!
So you want to make a skill check?
Yeah. What skill?
Perform.
What skill am I doing?
What else?
Jesus Christ. Which one?
I mean, I think the closest thing would probably be dance.
Oh, no!
A nat 1! Oh!
No!
Of course. Fucking
Soul.
course. Oh, looks like Soul was a bit nervous.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Of course. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I rolled a 1 on, like, the worst possible thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
My cheeks hurt from smiling.
Good. So, the evening passes, and that pretty much gets you to the morning of the 31st. Happy birthday, Karis.
Yeah, she's an adult now.
Yeah.
I remember when I became almost an adult. I mean, I'm an adult. Yeah. So, Soul, very embarrassed, is going to make breakfast.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Let's do that wisdom roll. Oh, hey, I got a 20. Not a nat 20, just my +1 on my wisdom, which is my lowest stat.
Your sweet +1.
My sweet +1. I
Right.
should have played Inspire Confidence before I made breakfast.
You make a nice breakfast. The best you've ever cooked, honestly.
Yay! I'm happy. Soul was trying to make it fancy, so there's just parsley on a bunch of shit.
Just
it's
randomly?
like, yeah, this looks
parsley's
pretty.
Fancy. Yeah.
This looks pretty.
Here's a muffin with parsley.
Yes! So, like, they've made food pretty well, but it's still got this stupid soul touch to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what makes food good. I just know I like it. There's a plate for each food, so they're not touching at all, of course. Omelet, parsley. The bacon, parsley. Oatmeal, parsley. Each one has like a sprig of parsley in the middle to make it look fancy. Soul tried to use spices this time, and it didn't suck. So they're quite content with themselves. And so they're gonna try to bring as much as they can over to the side table inside Siva's room for her, so she doesn't have to get up in the morning. She can just eat breakfast in bed. And so Soul kind of does this as quietly as possible, because Siva's still sleeping. It's pretty early, but Soul didn't need to sleep too much, and plus they're probably a little too embarrassed to sit in bed and think. And they've put little lids on each of them so that it like stays warm for when she wakes up. And then, let's see. I gotta talk to Gro.
Oh, man. All right.
So, oh wait, I'm gonna leave a note first for Siva, saying I went out for a walk. I'll be back soon. I hope you slept well. Here's a breakfast I made for you. Soul is about to write I love you, and then just has the I written, and then they're like, wait, that should be verbal.
So it just stops with the word I?
Yeah, just I. And it looks like it was about to turn into an L, and then they just draw a little happy face, like a little happy elf face.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, that's it.
That covers up my tracks. I gotta say, I love you in person. I can't do that on a card. I mean, maybe it'd be cute. I don't know. Oh, God. I feel so weird. Oh. And they just kind of fluster themselves outside of the tavern as they kind of step back a couple of times. Wait, should I change how that... No, it's fine. But maybe I could write that better. No, it's fine. It's fine. And so they go out. They kind of slap their face a little bit to reorient themselves. That's good. It's refreshing. It's good for my mind. Helps keep me on track. No more heat for a little bit for me. I gotta cool down for a second. And so I take out a sending scroll and I sigh. I gotta apologize. It's been a jerk. Yeah, okay, I can make this message. It'll be fine. Okay. And the message will go, Dear Bro, I wish to speak with you again. Mm-hmm. I feel bad about last time. Can we talk by the library again this morning?
24 words.
Please.
All right, there you go. Okay, you send it off. About 5 minutes later, you get a response. Of course.
Okay. And so kind of probably marches a little to the library, because although they're very embarrassed about last night, they're also feeling really great. And they go to the library, and usually most of the times they've waited for Gro, they kind of have like very crossed-armed, stubborn stance while waiting for him. Mm-hmm. And this time they just kind of sit on the steps of the library, and they just kind of look around, stare at the town a bit more than they used to. And they just kind of smile to themselves as they kind of think back to last night, pretty much.
A few minutes later, an elf man steps around the corner and sits down near you on the steps.
Took you long enough.
Sorry, I had to find my heavy cloak. I don't know how you put up with all the cold out here.
You know, it doesn't bug me. And Silk turns and smiles. But I'm not upset. You don't have to apologize. I'm sorry about yesterday.
He kind of looks at you, genuinely surprised. Really?
Yeah. And I'm sorry about the time before that, and the time before that. Pretty much ever since we've been engaged, I'm sorry.
Why the change of heart?
Because you've been a really nice person, and I've been a really big dick.
I wouldn't put it exactly like that.
Yeah, well, that's because you're more eloquent than I am now.
I suppose someone has to be, right?
Well, it gets very boring when you do it your whole life.
I can imagine so.
And Sulk does that lean back thing on the stairs where you kind of have your elbows back a little bit and kind of legs out, but they're like crossed at the ankles and stuff. You think it's really that cold out here?
I mean, it's not going to kill me or anything, but it just seems so inhospitable.
Nah. The people around here are amazing. And, I don't know, it's charming. Everything looks so different from where we're from.
Yeah, I mean, all the buildings are short. They look like they're
There's
made
less
out of...
green.
They look like they're made out of sticks and mud.
That's mean, Gro. I think they're pretty.
They certainly have a unique look. I'll give you that.
Well, uniqueness is what makes things special. I'm sure there's plenty of people that live around here, and they see the same buildings, and they don't think anything of it. But someone like me coming here, and only seeing stuff like this in a book, and seeing it in person, it's so magical. I love it. Gro?
Yes?
Are you mad at me?
No. Vexed, I think, is the word I would use. Confused a little bit.
Sulk tilts their head, egging on more of an explanation.
It's been a strange couple of years for me, that's all.
Yeah, me too. Well, 1 year I didn't even experience, so that's kind of weird.
It was the worst year of my life.
What?
It was the worst year of my entire life.
What do you mean by that?
You were gone. You weren't anywhere. It's one thing for you to go on a journey, but you just completely vanished.
It wasn't my choice.
I know. I'm not blaming you. It's just...
Okay.
You disappeared completely, and I had no idea where you went. I had no idea if you were even alive.
Yeah, I was kind of questioning that for a little bit, too, during that process, to be honest. Man, if you would have seen what I did in the Deadlands, I felt really cool, though. It was so scary, but I killed a ghost. His name was Duncan.
You really enjoy this adventuring life, don't you?
It's better than how Dad described it, when he always talked about going out. It's pretty amazing, actually. I love seeing new things and new people, and getting to learn about people is one of the funnest things. I feel like I never used to care about people back where we're from. I was a little bit more self-conceited back then. And so lean forward, they get out of their really back comfy pose and just lean forward on their knees, hands kind of knit together. Almost thinking man pose, but their hands are down. I'm sorry I've been such a terrible person.
I mean, you had your own pressures, expectations. I mean, I was just trying to live up to it all, you know?
I didn't have any expectations of you. I had expectations of the village and my parents, and everything that I grew up to know feels like it's not real. Before the competition, everything was fine, and I feel like we were okay around each other when I would come out to get more books. Soul blushes, remembering some secret kisses.
Grow smiles slightly, thinking back on the same memories.
But I found out something that my dad did, and everything just felt wrong after that. I feel like I took a lot of that out on you, and I'm sorry. It was right before the competition, and it was my place to actually congratulate you and be there to be happy with you, and I've been in my own head a lot. Soul's got their hands kind of closer to their face. They're kind of perching their chin a bit. Gro, do you know what my father's been doing?
I've heard talk.
Before I went off to school, I found some evidence, and I'm pretty sure it's true. It felt like the second I read something that I was hoping I was going to read the opposite of, it felt like everything I ever grew up to know was complete and utter bullshit. I don't understand our system anymore. I don't understand why our village even needs to be protected. No one's told me things that I feel like I should know. So, I don't know.
I'm sure after the ceremony, your mother will explain everything to you.
Ceremony?
Well, once it's passed on to you.
I just feel like, I don't know, I can't do that yet. I want to figure out a way so that it's not the case. That not one single person has to deal with all that strain. Then the competitions can go, and this strange hierarchy that I've become self-reliant on doesn't have to exist. Sulk looks at Gro to see what his face is, like how he's thinking of this.
He's just mostly listening to you. If you had to gauge his reaction, his eyes just sort of look sad.
Are you okay?
Not really.
Sulk leans over, because I figured Gro just sat, like, directly next to them, pretty much.
Yeah, like 2 feet to the side.
Okay, so Sol probably scooted up next to him a bit more, and then, like, puts their hand on his shoulder. No, please tell me. I've been so awful these past years. I'd prefer it if we actually talk.
We're promised to each other.
And you kind of see Sol's ears go down a little bit.
But yet, I've never felt more apart from you.
What do you mean?
I mean, after the competition, you left. I thought it would be our chance to be together.
Sulk looks down, kind of a little off to the right a bit more, because I'd like to think that Gro's on their left side so that Sol could see better. But so when Sol turns away, it has to be a little bit even more, because I only have this one direct vision currently. So they look kind of a bit more than just to the side, and like they're looking down the stairs and stuff, but they still have their hand on his shoulder. I want to be a person who can support you, Gro, but I have to tell you something.
He looks at you, a look of concern upon his face.
And Sulk removes their hand from his shoulder and kind of just puts their face in their hands now. They're still sitting pretty much right next to him, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was with someone last night.
He swallows hard. He stammers a little bit and says, I see.
So, like, as far as they can, buries their face into their hands and says, and when I was at school, it was way worse. They're starting to kind of, like, shake a little, because I don't think they've ever confronted these feelings verbally.
Oh, no. Not at
They've
all.
just felt guilty about it for, like, probably a year now at least. I'm sorry.
Sort of just quietly looks at the stairs in front of him.
I think at this point, like, a couple of tears have actually come out of Soul's face because, oh shit, the fuck is wrong with me? I'm just as bad as my father right now.
In case you were curious, your right eye does not cry.
Oh, really?
Really.
Interesting. Oh, it's so gross! I think Soul might be freaking out at the same time a little bit about that. What the fuck is wrong with my eye? I think it's just a multitude of emotions right now.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff happening at once, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think just the first verbal sob noise comes out, and that just makes all the waterworks happen. Where they're just distressed and crying and sobbing pretty much on the steps of this fucking library.
You look over, you see that Grows, his face is in his hands, and you see he's also crying.
He's crying?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Oh no! Oh no! I am an asshole! Oh god, Soul feels even worse. So, they've got only one eye, and it's all like fucking got water in it and shit, so they can't even see now. And they kind of like grab his sleeve, and they just pull themselves into him as much as they can, even though he's got his hands in his face. Pretty much the nook of like the shoulder, chest area is kind of where Soul's face is, while they're holding on to his lower sleeve where his forearm is. I'm so sorry.
I need some time.
And Soul kind of takes the longer pull on the cloth. They don't want him to go. Wait, please?
He looks at you.
Is there an easier way to contact you so we can talk again? If you don't entirely hate me enough to actually talk to me again? I've run out of scrolls. Contact you. Sorry. I don't really want you to go right now, though, at the same time.
He kind of thinks on it for a second, and you see he holds up his left hand and looks at his ring. And he moves his right hand and kind of grabs the ring and kind of spins it a little bit on his finger. You see he starts to pull it off his hand.
Oh no! Oh god! I'm an asshole! I don't know why, but like that totally like makes Soul a blubbering idiot. And they look so upset. They're not saying anything. They just look really, really hurt.
He asks if you still carry his ring.
Soul takes it out immediately, way too fast, and kind of has it, but they don't want to give it up currently. They're way too emotional and not thinking straight, and they kind of just have it and kind of clinging it to their chest a little.
He holds his ring out to you and says, "Let's trade these for now."
Soul like looks down and looks back up at his face to see what his face says.
He's kind of got a solemn look on his face.
Soul, with like a shaky hand, puts their ring down on his hand and then takes his and kind of brings it back to their chest again really quick, as if it's a kid being afraid that they'd get their new thing taken away or something.
This way, if we ever exchange these again, it'll be our choice.
Oh, damn. 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 Oh, Beardy. Why you play with my heart?
That's how I be.
Oh, God.
It'll be our choice and not just some tradition.
Soul nods. What does Grow's ring look like compared to Soul's?
I mean, it's bigger, obviously, but it's got like...
Is it a double ring like Soul's was, or...?
Yeah, they were made as a set.
Okay. My heart.
So it's 2 gold bands with rubies holding the 2 rings together.
You fancy.
Well, I mean, it's similar to yours. He hands that one to you, and he says that, and then he says that he'll be in touch, okay? He kind of reaches up and just touches your shoulder, and then stands up.
Soul, like, starts to reach up again, but then feels like they're being way too needy, and then they just look at the ground. Bro?
He turns around. Yes?
Are you mad at me?
I'm not sure yet.
Soul looks up, and they look just very torn up, and they don't know what to do.
Be safe, okay?
I'll try. You promise you'll keep in touch?
He nods.
Then you be safe too.
He turns and walks away.
Aw, damn. Oh. Oh, fuck, man! I feel so bad! Oh! Oh! Damn. Oh, God. I really needed that long conversation, though. Oh, fuck! Fuck! Now my feelings are everywhere! Oh, damn! Oh, lordy. Oh, shit. Oh, God. This is gonna be a great night. Okay. Woo! Alright. I guess I'll put his ring in my pouch for now.
Alright.
I, double snap that shit so that it's, extra secure.
Mm-hmm.
Sol kind of just looks out the steps of the library and is just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? What kind of person does this to people? And they kind of shake their head, they stand up, and on their way back to the tavern, they just kind of murmur to themselves, I'm no hero. I'm the worst of the worst. I'm no better than my dad.
You step into the Heartstring tap room, and you see Karis sitting at the bar.
Happy birthday!
She's holding up a glass of wine, and you can see she's got a big stupid smile on her face.
You know, most of the time people drink in the afternoon and not in the morning.
But today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Kara.
She spins around on the stool, and she says,
God.
It's my birthday, and I'm alive.
Did you not anticipate to be this age?
She just, full-on belly laughs. For, probably 15 seconds, just laughs. Stops laughing eventually, gets the giggles out of her system. Takes another sip of wine, sets it down on the bar, and says, No, I did not.
Well, you're here now. How's it feel?
It feels wonderful.
And so, kind of walked up to Karis at first, because they were kind of thinking they were on their way to greet Siva in the morning. But they're like, you know what, I'm going to sit down by this girl and have a little chat.
No, I did not think I would be alive. I'm 18 today. Today was supposed to be the day.
That he got you?
Yes. Yes, it was. That's why I had to leave, and I was running out of time.
That's a good thing we didn't go see a person in a hill near a mining town on our way to a vampire. It's real good. Soul's kind of snickering to themselves.
The only people I'd be apologizing to would be the students' parents, but, I survived, I guess. Sorry, that was...
You protected those
That's kind of morbid.
You could.
But
morbid is what I think I need to get used to.
I suppose it is kind of me.
Soul laughs nervously, where there's so many meanings right now, and I'm kind of...
She looks up to the air near you and says, Yes, I understand the irony of what I said. Sorry.
Soul attempts to look in the same area and is just she's kind of funny, though.
Oh,
and,
don't start
shrugs.
agreeing with my sister. The last thing I need.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, today was the day that I was going to live eternally, if you get my drift.
Ew, I think.
Yeah.
Soul kind of thinks, I don't know, I'm going to live for quite a while.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking forward to that sort of a life. But it was all part of his plan,
Yeah, I feel like plans are some of the worst things around, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Oh, how's your eye treating you?
Soul kind of looks slightly uncomfortable and is just so does the coldness ever go away?
She kind of looks confused. I didn't think it would be cold. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You did a lot for me, and I really appreciate it. It's very new to me, and I guess not having an eye is also new to me. I don't know. A lot of things have been happening lately. I just feel really confused. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you feel bad. You did a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate it.
You can see her, she's mumbling to herself, going over incantations. Did I screw something up? She starts biting her nails nervously.
I'm not upset. Just so you know. It's okay. It doesn't hurt. It's just new to me. I'm sure... Give it a week or so, and it'll seem like it's the most normal thing.
If you're sure.
I'm not sure about anything nowadays. And Soul just kind of laughs nervously.
Karis laughs along with you. Yeah, but I suppose I have to sort of think about what I'm going to do now. I never really considered having a future.
I think yours is going to be pretty great.
If you say so. It seems to be mostly people getting upset at me for being who I am.
Sol just kind of nods a little. They probably are taking their own thoughts and, like, experiences way too much into that conversation. Mm-hmm. This doesn't even fully relate to what's been going on, but they're too much gone for what's happened the past 2 days.
You know, it's just time to live life your way, and you want to be with us, and I'm all for that. I'll support you as long as you try to, for the most part, be good, I guess. And you don't, like, stab us.
You all saved my life. I owe you all a debt. I'm not just gonna...
I don't consider it a debt.
Not just gonna stab you all.
Yeah, well, sometimes people with crossbows hit people that they haven't even let talk yet. So, you know, things happen. Yep, they sure do. I got a question.
She looks up at you.
Is there any way that someone else can hear your sister?
I don't think so. I mean, I would essentially have to bind someone else's essence to her, which would bind them to me. It would all be kind of messy.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I just figured maybe it'd be nice for you to have someone else to talk to her with, and it just not be so one-sided, so you didn't feel alone.
She kind of, like, looks off in the air for a second. Okay, alright, noted, alright? Not... Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to discuss that more before we get a final answer to you, but I don't think it's a great idea.
No, it's fine. I guess I just wanted to see if I could help. I don't know if it would make you happy.
You've already helped so much.
It's kind of my thing. Supposedly I'm a hero, but I don't really believe it. Kind of a terrible person, actually.
I think hero pretty well covers it. I mean, you had no idea who I was, and you saved me. People don't just do that.
I feel like they do. It's what they do in my books. Soul just taking everything back to what they've read their whole life. People always save other people when they see there's actual wrongdoing happening, right? That's what
if you say
all my books say.
I've not really known that much kindness.
Well, maybe it's good now that you're with us so that you can have it for the rest of your time with us. If you ever choose to leave, I don't know. But at least while you're with us, I mean, we're a weird family, but you can be ours. We could be yours.
Like a single tear, like, goes down her cheek, and she like looks at you, and you get the sense that she almost wants to hug you, but she's not. She's not going to. She kind of moves in and just like stops herself.
Soul goes forward and like one of their arms out as if being, it's okay if you want to, but if not, like I also respect that.
No, you shouldn't do that.
Why not?
I don't like to be touched. I'm sorry.
Oh, well that's okay.
I forget sometimes.
Soul tilts their head a bit. Elaborate?
Are you sure?
I mean, it's just you and me in a bar that hasn't even filled in yet because it's the morning, and Soul like grabs one of the bottles of booze and just uncorks it, and we're drinking.
She laughs. Okay, but I didn't warn you, all right?
You got it.
She kind of like looks at her hands, and I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but Karis is very pale.
Yeah, I think you've said she's pale.
Yeah, she's very pale. She's very thin. She's very...
Yeah, she was like 100 pounds when we found her.
Yeah, like she's very frail looking as far as like physicality. She looks physically weak, and she does not look like she's able to do much at all. She's thin. Her fingers are thin. Her hands are thin. So she like looks at her hands in front of her, and she holds one out to you.
Okay.
She's like, be careful, okay?
Soul puts their hand out. I think this is what I'm supposed to do.
So she takes hold of your hand, and at first she feels pretty normal, like her skin feels normal. But after you've touched her for a few seconds, her skin goes extremely cold.
Yeah.
And I need you to make a fortitude save.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. That is a 14.
Okay, so your hand instinctually jumps back as you can feel like your hand is sort of slightly numb now.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got someone who can fix that. Soul, like, waggles their hand a little bit, looks at their hand confused, and then just instinctively goes to put their hand back on Karis's.
Karis, like, immediately takes her hand back to her side. It's, I've been like that for a while.
Did they do that to you?
She nods.
So, you don't want people to touch you because of that, not because you are uncomfortable with touch?
I guess one sort of led to the other.
Soul bites their lip in contemplation. Well...
It's all part of the plan. She kind of has, like, a sarcastic-looking smile.
Well, if you ever want to try that again, or even a hug, I'm here for you. And it can be at your own pace, but if that's something you want, I'm here. I can do that for you.
I'd prefer not to hurt people.
You didn't hurt me.
She kind of, like, looks at you. I think I know what that look looks like.
Well, it just got cold. I mean, just put it under some hot water. I'm fine. Don't worry. After this morning, there's no way anything could hurt me at this point. Unless, there's a crossbow arrow that stabs me.
She looks at you, sort of confused. Well, thanks again for being here for me.
No problem. Like I said, if you want it, you can be our family. We can be yours. And, your sister can be included too, but that's only if she wants to be. I'm never quite sure. That's all winks.
Don't encourage her.
I'm sorry. And I'm sorry I knew that for a while.
It's okay. I'm not exactly good at keeping secrets.
Yeah. That's okay. Turns out keeping secrets feels terrible. So I think you're good.
Well, she picks up the wine glass. Happy birthday to me, I guess.
Soul instinctively went to, rub her back, but then is, oh wait, I should respect her space. And so just goes and stares at their hand, and that would be their left hand, because I think they touched with their right. Mm-hmm. Stare at their hand. Are you sure I can't touch you again? I mean, if it's not cool, I understand. I don't know, feel like I should comfort you more? And I'm only really aware of physical. I think I'm bad at people.
She smiles and says, that makes two of us.
Soul kind of chuckles, and then I assume they took, a bottle of brandy, to be honest.
Oh, God.
Soul just takes a couple of gulps in there, and then pops it. Oh, so much better than red wine.
Speak for yourself as she downs her glass.
I am. Yes. So, I think they've been sitting for a while, kind of quietly. Mm-hmm. And Soul's probably just been thinking too much about the morning currently. Mm-hmm. They've probably drank a bit too much for a morning. But what's new, am I right? It's just 2 sessions ago. It's fine. Oh shit, I shouldn't drink. Fuck.
Yeah, it's a little early to be downing a whole bottle of brandy.
Well, it says the person who I came into drinking wine.
One glass with breakfast isn't going to ruin you for the whole day.
You sound like my mom, and then she drank 5 more. Actually, I wonder why mom drank so much. Huh. That's probably not good at all. Actually, we should never drink in the morning ever again.
Karis kind of stares at her glass. Kind of says, I never knew my mother.
And so kind of freezes, but it's way too awkward because now they're tipsy. So it's even worse.
I must have known her. I must have. I just can't remember.
Do I know if there's a spell to jog memory?
Oh, actually, that's a bard-only spell. That's interesting. Huh. I've never seen this one before. This is a 4th level bard spell called Modify Memory. It's only bards get this, which is, first of all, really weird. There's very few bard-only spells. But this one is 1 living creature, duration permanent. You reach into the subject's mind and modify as many as 5 minutes of its memories in one of the following ways. Eliminate all memory of an event that the subject has actually experienced. Allow the subject to recall with perfect clarity an event that actually happened. Change the details of an event that the subject actually experienced, and implant the memory of an event that the subject never experienced. That's fun.
Interesting. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. Looks like I know the next spell I'm getting.
Well, that's a higher level spell than you can cast.
Oh. I thought you said it was...
Yeah, Bard
4th level?
Yeah, so you're sitting at 2s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little ways to go.
So Soul thinks about it. Well, I think if I take enough time to study, I think I know a way to make a spell that would let you remember something like that. if that's what you really wanted. I just don't know how long it would take me to learn something like that.
I mean, yes, I guess. You've already done too much for me as it is. I'm okay. And like you said, all of you are my family now. That's more family than I've ever had.
Soul kind of smiles. And they just kind of instinctively ruffle the shoulder of her real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But then just does it enough to where it was so quick. And then they kind of have like a playful look in their eye when they do it, where it's just like, see, I'm fine. And then they put the brandy back underneath the bar, so they stop drinking.
She just sits there and kind of smiles. And is just happy being near you.
So, in elf years, if you were an elf, you'd probably be around the same age as me, I'm guessing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 84, and I'm technically... And, like, Cole kind of, like, lowers their voice, even though there's no one fucking else there. Technically, I'm not an adult yet.
She kind of, like, tilts her head at you. Kind of gives you a look. So, in a way, I'm older than you.
Just don't tell the rest of the group.
She starts laughing again.
I make a big fuss about being an adult. And, you know, I'm practically an adult anyways. I just takes elves a lot longer. I don't know if we're just stupid or what. Takes y'all nothing, but at the same time, other races die so fast. I just don't really get it.
She shrugs. It's just life and death.
I suppose.
Something of a hobby of mine. She makes like a stupid grin.
Soul actually laughs. Kind of maybe a bit too much because they are still tipsy. This is funny.
You're sure you're okay with the eye?
Yeah. I'll get used to it.
You didn't just say yes because you didn't want to hurt my feelings, right?
Soul thinks about it. Nah, I think I'm kind of trying to tell the truth more lately. So, I think it's a little weird feeling, but it's not like it's gonna be the death of me. It's just an eye.
Yeah, no, it's totally harmless. It's just that if you don't like it, I can get rid of it.
For right now, it's fine. I got another question.
Go ahead.
So, if you switch my eye to like a sense dead thing, or sense life, which one will let me see your sister?
She kind of like leans back against the bar and kind of thinks about that for a second. That's a good question. Yeah, okay.
You want to play around?
I understand that's your opinion on the matter, but yeah, okay. Yes. Alright, so my sister says that she believes it would be sense life.
What do you think?
I'm unconvinced.
Should we try it at some point?
I mean, do you have an eye laying around?
Soul like tilts their head. I'm sorry, what?
I mean, she kind of like scratches the back of her head. I would have to use a different eye.
You used an eye last time?
I used your eye.
So, I'd have to get a new one?
She shrugs. Kinda.
Oh.
I mean, I said we could change them out. I thought I said that.
I misunderstood. Yep. Yep.
Are you mad at me?
Nope. Mad at myself. Oh boy. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because one's milky anyways. I just...
Do you want me to... I can make it not look milky, I think.
Soul perks up a little.
It might not last very long, but it might last a week or two.
The Soul looks down again.
I mean, it's an easy spell. I could cast it every few days on you if you wanted.
Soul thinks about it. You kind of see them tilting their head back and forth on their shoulders, but kind of sloppily since they're tipsy.
I could cast it right now on you if you'd like.
So, would that make it look like my eyes normal?
I think so, yeah. We could try it.
Let's just try it.
So
I trust you.
There's a bit of a bit of a secret. Well, not really a secret, I guess, but it's sort of a trick that I have, and it's that my sister actually helps with some of my spells. She can, well, she was a gifted caster too.
And you use books, right?
Mm-hmm. She has a spell book with her at all times. She produces it out of a satchel that she has on her, and she sets it down. And your sis
helps you not use the book sometimes?
Mm-hmm. She can hold a spell.
Okay.
So she actually has this one. Just hold still, okay? And take off the eye patch.
Okay, Soul unbuckles the eye patch. They have the feather portion cradled in their hands properly.
Mm-hmm. She incants, and some strands of purple and black energy move around her hands, and it only takes her about 3 or 4 seconds to cast the spell. And when the energy dissipates, she leans in close and squints and looks, and she says, I think it worked.
Yeah? Does it look good?
I mean, it looks like you.
And Soul smiles.
Like I
should
said,
have done this yesterday.
It might not last for all that long, but it'll at least work sometimes.
Soul kind of nods. Well, it could be helpful from time to time. It's still weird seeing, like,
She walks over and finds a tin plate that's unoccupied, picks it up and walks it back over and hands it to you.
I look in it, see my reflection.
You look at it and it looks like it's not milky anymore. It looks like your eye.
And it doesn't look any different?
It doesn't look milky. It looks like your eye. You can't see out of it still, but now that you have it open to the air, you can sort of see sparkles in certain places. You know, whenever there's a magical object, you can see the aura around it.
I see.
And it kind of
Are there any specific objects around me?
It matches up with your normal vision slightly, since, you know, your eyes are looking in the same direction. So it sort of overlays your normal vision slightly.
Interesting.
It's a strange effect. So you see, like, the shimmering light around Karis' spellbook that's sitting on the bar. And you see some objects on your person that are magical. You look around the bar and you can see random other things, like ever-burning torches shine with a magical light.
What items on me are magical?
Let's see, a Symphonia's Wit,
Mm-hmm.
Aristea's lock of hair,
Yee, my
Potion.
baby.
your potion of cure light wounds, your scrolls of prestidigitation and sending, your muse, your ring, and I believe that's it.
Can I take out Grow's ring and see if that's magical?
You look at it and it is magical, yes.
Can I use detect magic on it?
You are using detect magic on it.
Oh, I guess so. Can I figure out what magic is?
Yeah, you can make a spellcraft check to try to identify it.
Well, that's
fine.
a 24.
So, near as you can tell, it is tied to another object. It seems to be divination magic, as far as the school, and it's tied to another object in the world. So, whatever this one is linked to, it would allow you to keep tabs on locations. So, it seems to have some sort of divination magic built into it.
So, if I put it on, I could use it?
Possibly.
Huh.
Like I said, it's a bit big for you, but if you put it on, it might size itself. It's a magic item. A lot of them do that.
I'd probably put it on my thumb if it's big.
Okay. You want to try to wear it?
Yeah.
Okay. You slide it on your hand, and you get a sense, something in the back of your head, an understanding of somewhere else in the world, you can feel another object, another ring.
Okay.
It's a long way away. Do you want to focus on it?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. You close your eyes and you think and you focus. And you feel like a sense, a location, feeling of like something drawing you somewhere else almost. And you almost feel like you're home again, like you're back in your village.
Okay. What else do I feel?
That's about it.
That's it?
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Is there anything else I can do with the ring?
That appears to be the only thing on there that you can detect or use.
Huh.
Whatever it has on there is some sort of, for lack of a better word, tracking enchantment on it.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Specifically tied to one other object in the world.
Well, things make sense now. Okay. Soul is just fascinated with the ring on their hand currently.
You get the sense that this is how Grove kept tabs on you. Or how he
Can
knew.
he sense me when I use this?
Could you sense him when he used it on you?
No, but I know he's better at things than me currently.
Yeah, maybe he gave you the ring in the hopes he'd use it to find your way home.
Oh, damn. No, my heart. That's very interesting.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. So, Soul might focusing in on this ring maybe just a little bit too long, and they're getting kind of homesick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they shake their head and snap out of it.
You see that Karis has finished another glass of wine while you were out.
Jesus Christ.
Kind of got a taste for this stuff.
I've noticed. You sure do like your reds.
Well, he had a specific taste when it came to liquids. So even his servants, he wanted them to drink red wine.
Yikes. What a weird guy. I'm glad we killed him.
And I'm glad you killed him too.
Well, I'm gonna go check up on Siva. Getting to be normal morning for other people, so I'm gonna see how she's doing.
Alright, if you ever need me to do that to your eye again, or if you end up changing your mind about it entirely, let me know, okay?
I will. Thanks, Karis.
She smiles. Yes, I'm sure she understands. Yes. Look, I'm not going to get into every gruesome detail with her, alright?
Soul, looks back uncomfortably. What?
Don't worry about it. Have a good morning.
Oh, you too. And Soul pops the ring into their pouch again.
Yes, I'm sure they're familiar with jellification.
Soul turns around again. What was the word you just said?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Have a good morning.
You too. Slowly walking to that door.
People out again. This is what happens when you... Right, and then you walk out of earshot.
Yeah. I'm just I don't want to hear things. And so Soul lightly opens up the door, peeks their head in to see if Siva has woken up yet.
Alright, you peek your head in. I'm going to go ahead and roll randomly, because I don't know either. Okay, you find Siva is still quietly asleep.
Okay.
She looks very peaceful.
Soul's gonna climb in on the other side of the bed and kind of snuggle next to her for a while.
Alright, so you get into bed. When she feels your presence again, she kind of opens one eye, sees that it's you, and kind of scooches in and kind of starts to cuddle with you.
Yay. So Soul kisses Siva's shoulder and cheeks and stuff a little bit. It's kind of a slow waking up morning thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of just presses their forehead against hers and just kind of looks at her, smiles.
Yeah, Siva gets a devilish grin on her face and probably is going to push things for more.
Oh god. Do I have to make another performance roll?
Insatiable. That's all I'm going to say. Insatiable.
Is this my punishment?
Yeah, this is your punishment.
So I'm making another roll?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll make another performance roll. This time was a 25.
There you go. All right. So that was the night of October 30th and the morning of October 31st.
Thanks for listening. We'd like to thank Protagonist for the intro music and Emily Roll for Fantasy for this episode's soundtrack. Please leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions. Until next time!